I don't think we're going to see freezing temperatures for another at least a week or so. And even if we get down to 31 or 32 degrees, it won't be too cold for my crops. So watch me when I go over here to this side. You're going to see me remove these little plastic retainers that hold the plastic onto the EMT pipes. I'm going to pull them off and stick them in my pocket. I've taken them off everywhere else, so really all I have to do is pull up the plastic there. Around the edges, you'll see the wood chips flying because that's what keeps it pinned down on the edges. It's pretty simple. Let's have a look and see how this goes down, or up. So this is what they look like. This works on 1/2-inch EMT, electrical metallic tubing. They make them in different sizes that work on 3/4-inch EMT or 1-inch EMT. I bend these low hoops out of 1/2-inch EMT because it's a cost-effective way to add crop protection to some of my baby brassicas that I have growing right now, today, in today's session. So I like doing this. It's been protective. It's shown to be effective in years behind us, and I have no reason to believe that it won't work in years in the future. Now y'all are going to see me just pull the plastic off. It's that simple. I'm going to leave the wood chips in place. This is about the time when we start to push wood chips back into place to cover up the bare composting soils to keep the weeds from growing. So over the course of the next couple of months, I'll actually be putting plants in the ground, and I'll actually be putting some more coarse wood chips over the top of those soils. We got to see those soils this winter, late fall and early winter is when I start to put the composts down because there's less chance of weeds growing in them. So it makes a whole lot more sense. Plus then we have the winter rains and winter snow, if it happens. This year it did happen, to fall on top of those composts, get them really, really cold, and help some of the compost elixirs to drip down into the soils, allowing the microbes to get a better sense of what's above them. So, here we are, and spring is going to open soon within the next, 15 days or so. And it's still cold, but that doesn't mean, we can't start planting certain crops. So let's see what these plants look like. Hopefully they didn't get roasted in the sun while I was over here yapping with y'all. Let's see what that looks like. Gonna give this plastic to my assistant, Mr. Wind. This particular broccoli plot is now essentially exposed to the sun and the weather and everything else. We hardened this broccoli off a few weeks back. It sat out here in the very cold for a couple of weeks, adjusting and acclimating. About a week ago, I put them into the soils and the temperatures got cold again. So that's why we had to cover them up. I covered them up, I think, 3 or 4 days ago. Maybe it was Friday night, Saturday night. I think it was Saturday night, and today's Monday. So you can work through these little cold snaps pretty easily. If it was colder than 22 degrees, brassicas can handle that temperature. If they've had a chance to root into the soils and they're already making their own antifreezes, brassicas can handle it. I could take you over there right now and show you how well and alive they are doing. And last night was very, very cold. It was 21 or 22 degrees. And that's usually enough to freeze most plants. In this particular case, they are fine. So I got one more plot over there to uncover. It only has 1 or 2 plants in it. It's not that spectacular, But within my greenhouse behind me, I do have some broccoli that I want to get in the ground, and we're going to grow them through the spring. By the time summer hits, hopefully they'll bolt and make me some seeds. All right, one more step, then I'll show you what they look like. So y'all want to know what's up with this plastic? This is some super sophisticated plastic stuff. It's very rare. This is called rare earth plastic. No, my hawk is calling me a liar. This is poly from Home Depot or Walmart or pretty much anywhere. It's not the best material to use. It's the hasty covers. Normally I would use greenhouse plastic, but I wouldn't necessarily want to devote greenhouse plastic to something that was only going to be out for a couple of days. So that stuff remains folded up and put away for the next time we need to use it on a greenhouse. This stuff is very, very good for hasty stuff because it's inexpensive, and we're not expecting it to do anything other than kind of keep the cold out. I don't need it to grow my plants like I would if it was a regular greenhouse plastic. I don't need it to keep moisture from dripping on my leaves because, well, it's cold in there, and if there's any moisture dripping, it means it's probably warm. So that's not a function of this particular material. This material is more better suited towards other tasks, like blocking the cold for short periods of time. And then my assistant will take it. All right, so I'm about to take the camera and show y'all what those plants look like. We'll get a better understanding of what I mean by, well, cold resistant. All right, there's my German Shepherd. Right over here, you can see there's 3 baby brassicas. Okay, we protected them. They're gonna make it. Over here, artichoke. All right, the artichoke is doing fine. Now let's see, we'll go over here. I can see these 3 have rooted in really well. Then there is one right there. It has a little bit of cold stress on it, but it should bounce back because the stems look good. I can see it. And then, of course, those in the background are older, and, well, they have no problem with 22 degrees. That one right there in the center, same. And then we have that baby right there, which is like, it wasn't even impacted at all. Same for these. So if any of the leaves do turn really, really pale and they lose their ability for photosynthesis, they will be replaced by new leaves. In a couple of days, they should look like completely different plants. So we'll have a look in a couple of days and see what this ended up like, right? That's the only fair thing to do. All right. Till we meet again.